Historically, West Virginia is coal mining country. After the railroad companies started carving routes through the Appalachian Mountains, coal mining really took off here between 1880 and 1900. New communities popped up throughout the region virtually overnight as immigrants from Europe and African Americans from the South poured into West Virginia for jobs and better lives for their families. These beautiful rolling hills are filled with old mining towns. But on December 6, 1907, an explosion occurred in Monongah, West Virginia, that's still considered the worst mining disaster in American history. The explosion happened at the Fairmont Coal Company's number 6 and number 8 mines, probably when a spark from a miner's lantern ignited methane gas. There were officially 367 men in the two mines at the time. 362 of them died almost instantly. 250 of them were fathers. This is a monument to the Monongah mining disaster of 1907. The terrible tragedy was one of the final events leading to the creation of the United States Bureau of Mines, a government oversight agency with the mission to inspect mines, train crews, provide rescue services, and investigate disasters. It was considered a major safety initiative for coal miners in the entire mining industry. The Monongah mining disaster was also the event that led to the first recorded Father's Day in American history. On the heels of Anna Jarvis's first Mother's Day in May of 1908, a woman named Grace Golden Clayton went to the pastor of her church and asked for a service to honor all the fathers lost in the mining disaster. It was a huge loss for the communities surrounding Monongah, since these dads left behind wives and nearly 1,000 fatherless children. Pastor Robert Thomas Webb in the neighboring town of Fairmont agreed to Grace's idea, and Father's Day was held in his church about 20 miles down the road from Grafton, where the first Mother's Day in U.S. history occurred just 2 months earlier. This is the Central United Methodist Church in Fairmont, West Virginia, where the first Father's Day was held on July 5th, 1908. Known back then as Williams Memorial Methodist Episcopal Church South, the original church was torn down in 1922. It was replaced with this building, now called Central United Methodist Church. In 1985, this historical marker was erected in front of the church by the West Virginia Department of History. The town has also embraced its Father's Day roots with a variety of signs and banners that pop up from time to time. While this 1908 memorial service appears to be America's first event strictly honoring fathers, it was just a one-and-done thing. Nothing really came of it. But the following year, a woman named Sonora Smart Dodd started an official quest to establish Father's Day as a national holiday. Dodd was one of 6 children raised by her single dad and Civil War veteran William Jackson Smart. She thought that her father and other fathers like him deserved a special day too, just like mothers. After a year of petitioning her local government, Dodd's home state of Washington celebrated its first official Father's Day on June 19, 1910. The hub of the celebration was the YMCA in Spokane. Sonora Dodd tried to promote Father's Day as an annual event. However, she didn't have near the success as Mother's Day.
And after 20 years of trying, the concept nearly died out.
That's when certain trade groups finally woke up to the potential and started backing her. You see, there was big money in Mother's Day. So the manufacturers of ties, tobacco pipes, and fishing gear all liked the idea of an annual holiday that celebrated fathers, too. Interestingly, Americans picked up on the ruse and resisted the holiday for a couple of more decades. Newspapers around the country even published sarcastic articles and comic strips calling out the retailers for their thinly veiled attempt to match the commercial success of Mother's Day. But the trade groups didn't give up. And in 1966, President Lyndon B. Johnson finally issued the first proclamation honoring fathers and designating the third Sunday in June as Father's Day. 6 years later, the day was made a permanent national holiday when President Richard Nixon signed it into law in 1972. So, there you have it, the history of Father's Day in America.